in the endless winter of the North, where the trees stand like frozen sentinels and the silence cuts deeper than the wind. There's a story people still whisper, a tale of a creature that was once human, until hunger turned its heart to ice. They say it moves between the trees, tall, thin, eyes burning like dying embers. Its voice rides the wind, calling your name when you're alone. Some say it's only a legend. Others have heard it. The old tribes called it Wendigo, the eater of men, the spirit of endless hunger. Tonight, we step into the frozen heart of America's oldest nightmare and uncover the terrifying truth behind the Wendigo, America's original horror story. Long before the settlers came, before the towns and roads carved through the wilderness, the Algonquian people told stories around their fires, stories meant to warn, to remind. They spoke of a spirit born from the coldest hunger, the kind that freezes not just your body, but your soul. When a man was driven to eat human flesh in the endless snows, the spirit of the Wendigo would enter him. His heart would turn to ice. His greed would grow boundless. No matter how much he ate, he would always be starving. They said his lips cracked and bled from the cold, his eyes burned like coals, and his skin stretched thin over bones that never stopped growing. The Wendigo became a walking curse, a reminder of what happens when desperation devours humanity itself. And so, when storms howled and food ran thin, the people would whisper prayers, huddle closer to their fires, for fear that hunger might make monsters of them all. The true horror of the Wendigo was never just in its claws or teeth. It was in the mind. Imagine being trapped in an endless winter, days without food, the snow burying every path, every hope. You hear your own heartbeat like a drum of survival, and then one night a thought whispers in your head, eat or die. That is how the Wendigo begins, not from a monster outside, but from the voice within. The Algonquian elders warned that once you think of eating human flesh, the spirit hears you. It follows you. It waits. They said men have vanished in blizzards, only to return with eyes empty and skin pale as bone, no longer human, no longer hungry for food, but for flesh. It's a horror that doesn't end when the snow melts, because the Wendigo isn't just a creature. It's the echo of greed, of fear, of what we become when survival turns to obsession. And that's why, even today, when the wind moans through the pines on a cold night, some swear they can still hear it. The hunger that never dies. They said no one truly saw the Wendigo and lived to tell the story. But legends always begin with someone who did. One hunter, alone in the frozen woods, followed strange footprints that led nowhere. They circled back to his own camp. When he turned around, he saw it, tall, gaunt, its skin stretched tight like leather over bone, eyes glowing faint red like embers dying in the cold, antlers curling out from its skull. It didn't walk, it glided, silent as the snow. The hunter's torch flickered. His breath froze midair. And then the thing spoke. A whisper that wasn't a voice, but hunger made sound. "I remember you," it hissed. The hunter ran, but in the storm, every direction was the same. White, endless, merciless. When the rescue party found his camp weeks later, the fire was still burning, but the man was gone. Only his footprints remained, leading out into the forest and stopping. They say sometimes when the snow is heavy and the woods go quiet, you can still see him walking among the trees. Not as the hunter, but as the hunted. Centuries have passed. The old villages are gone. The forests have new names. But the Wendigo never truly left. Today, it hides in different forms, not in the snow or the woods, but in the hearts of men. Greed, obsession, the hunger for more, power, wealth, fame, no matter the cost. That's the true Wendigo. The Algonquian elders said, each time we take more than we need, the Wendigo grows stronger. And maybe that's why, even now, people feel its chill when they stand alone in the dark. Maybe that's why, when the wind howls through empty streets, it sounds almost human. The Wendigo was never just a monster in the woods. It was a mirror, showing us the cost of endless desire. So when the winter comes and the cold creeps in, remember the story. Keep your fire burning. Keep your hunger human. Because out there, the Wendigo still waits. The Wendigo's hunger never ends. And maybe that's what makes it so human. If this story sent a chill down your spine, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep the fire burning for the next legend. Because in the shadows of America's past, more creatures are waiting to be heard. Until next time, stay warm,